Hi everyone, Quiveen here from the comfort of my kitchen. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Perseid Meteor Shower and the Eta Aradnid Meteor Shower, or Eta Eridanid, depending on how much you like to pronounce your vowels. I generally tend to skip over vowels a little bit. Before we move into darkness, before we move into the countryside, before we do anything else, we're going to pick up the number of meteors in the sky to a standard Perseid rate, and I'm going to leave it that high for the entire video so that any time that I leave time running forward at the normal rate of 1 second per second, how time tends to go, then there should be meteors in the sky. We should catch one or two, but as you can see, there's a lot of room on this slider, 110. Although it is a lot, and it's a lot more than the amount we normally get to see, it's still not particularly big for a meteor shower. Meteor showers can be much, much larger, and what would be considered, a spectacular or extremely large meteor shower can be thousands of meteors an hour. When we say thousands of meteors an hour, I really mean thousands of meteors passing the zenith every hour. So we kind of ignore the other meteors in the sky in order to get a rough idea of the rate. You don't know what part of the world you're going to be on. So the amount of meteors crossing any subjective zenith, it's a rough approximation of the view that you're supposed to get from your location. We are now through to August 8th, but here are some of the meteor showers whose range covers this date, the 8th of August. But the Eta Aradnids, or Eta Eridanids, again, vowels, we can see that they're peaking on the 7th. Now, we're seeing it there with its max at 3 and the current at 2. We're seeing 0, but that's probably because they're rather faint. We can see that actually for a couple of days either side, even going back to the, okay, maybe not so much the 5th, but the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, we're seeing a pretty consistent couple of meteors coming from that. So this must be a meteor shower with a reasonably broad peak. A lot of meteor showers have a much narrower peak, or the difference between the peak and off-peak times are much starker. But we can also see that it does have quite a long running time. Once we get a few more days towards the extreme ends of that running time, we're only seeing zeros. We'll only see 0 essentially for all of July. I have no doubt that we'll see 0 for that entire portion of July and the entire portion of September that they are technically running through as well. And we can surely see that with some of these other ones here. Yeah, so early in August, even though it runs to the 10th, we're seeing 0. Even though this runs to the 23rd, we're seeing 8. So we're still seeing a couple reasonably far from the peak. The Delta Acarids, the Southern Delta Acarids, or Southern Delta Aquariids, they do seem to be contributing something, whereas we can see the Alpha Capricornids here peaking on the 30th of July, still running to the 14th. We will need to move forward to get some other meteor showers in the sky, like there's the Northern Acarids. They're not showing a local rate at all. There we go with the current zenith hourly rate, but we can see that they are variable, peaking when we'd expect them to peak on the 21st, but even with the variation, it might be 5, it might be 10, not the best numbers to see. Coming forward to the Perseids, these are the ones. So this is why I have the zenith hourly rate set so high, because on the 12th, or roughly on the 12th, we could see up to 100 meteors from this meteor shower. Now we can see that either side of the 12th, we're still getting some pretty big numbers. Here, past midnight on the 12th into the 13th, we seem to be getting our highest of 89. If we move around our time a little bit, we can see that climbing. So coming back to before midnight on the 12th, there we go. We could be seeing up to 99 coming from the Perseids. But of course, we're not going to see quite as many of them if we're in the city, and you may have noticed, even with it set to 110, we're not seeing that many there. So we'll head out to the countryside. That's what I always recommend to take a look at any meteor showers, is to head out to the countryside where the light pollution won't be getting in the way. In the previous video that we spoke about meteor showers, I noticed that we weren't seeing that many meteors in the sky. Even with rates set as high as 100, with time running the way time should, I had some sort of vague memory that I would see more than this at this rate. So just in order to test that the meteors are working, we're going to go higher, much higher. We're going to go up to a much, much higher rate, 5,000. I hope that the computer will allow 5,000. In fact, 5,000 doesn't seem to be coming up registered as a lot. There we go. We can go higher, surely. Given where the slider is, we can surely go higher. That's pretty good. That's a big number. We'll go a bit higher again. it is surprising to me that there's so much room at the top of this slider, but the highest rates ever recorded are incredibly high. That's the highest rate ever. And there we go, plenty of meteors in the sky. So the meteors are working, but do recall, this is the most meteors an hour anyone's ever seen, ever. In recorded history, this is the biggest one that we've ever actually measured the numbers of. It is believed that rates like this have happened in the distant past, they may have happened at other times, but you really need an extraordinary rate of meteor showers for it to look the way that it's often shown in movies and TV shows. And of course, it is important to encourage people to go and look at these things, but I think that accuracy, factual levels are a bit more appropriate. I think that people can be disappointed if they are shown hundreds and hundreds of meteor showers going through the sky, but they don't actually get to see that many at all. Now, of course, with the slider offering such big numbers, it's a little tricky to get it to show exactly what I wanted to. Here we have it set to 200, an exceptional Perseid rate. An unlikely Perseid rate. Seeing 200 meteors an hour crossing the zenith is an incredible amount, but it takes quite a while. We should be seeing a couple every minute, really. We should be seeing slightly more than one a minute, slightly more than two a minute actually, but waiting even a minute in a video like this, staring at a screen, waiting for a whole minute for a meteor to come through. I do my best to talk about things while I'm staring at the screen, but of course it's difficult not to be lost in the stillness and uneventfulness of what we're seeing in the sky here. But the Perseids, they're coming up on the 12th, which is after the weekend. It is during the week, and we can see that the peak really is constrained there around sunset on the 12th. So even if it is more easy for you to go and take a look at the Perseids a few days before, the moon will be closer to full, which isn't going to help, but it will be the weekend, which may make travelling into the countryside easier. You're still going to have to wait for quite a while to see any meteors in the sky. It's not going to look as crazy as it so often does in movies and TV shows, particularly in cartoons. But seeing an actual meteor in the real sky is quite a rewarding thing. And as long as you're happy to spend a couple of hours outside, as long as you can keep yourself occupied, maybe having a barbecue, maybe not anything to do with fire, because of course that'll damage the your ability to see in the dark. The brighter the lights are around you, the harder it is to see the meteors in the sky. But if you have something to keep you occupied, something to do while you're standing outside for a couple of hours waiting to catch a meteor in the sky, then that will elevate your chances, and being in the countryside will elevate your chances as well. So there are several meteor showers coming up, but the Perseids are significantly better than the other meteor showers that we see in late July and the rest of August. The Perseids are the biggest one in that couple of months. The Leonids, the Draconids, these other meteor showers that are going to come up in other times of the year, those can be quite big as well, but the Perseids in particular, they're often quite nice, especially here in the Northern Hemisphere in August when the nights are starting to get darker, when the days are starting to get shorter, but things haven't gotten too cold yet. That's a nice sweet point on which to be out looking for meteors. I hope you get to see some of the Perseid meteors during this meteor shower. I hope that you get to see any meteors while you're out during August, whether they're Eta Arachnids or just random meteors coming from the anti-helion, part of the background wave. Whatever meteors they are, whatever shooting stars you see, it's always nice to see them, and I hope you do get to see them. If you enjoyed this video, please do like it, and make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you'd like to see more content from me. You can also take a look at my website, queevinscontent.ie, where you can read some of this information. Most importantly, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here next time.